you day, but where are my blue skies? Hello, guys. How are you? Smile, even though I hurt, see, I smile. Okay, guys, this is Kirk Franklin playing in the background. Okay, so hopefully you can hear the song playing. I don't think you can. I don't think you can. It's a great song. Anyway, last time I left before I finished, okay, before I finished my 3 reviews, I had done one. What the first one I did was what's the 2 shows I reviewed? I reviewed two shows and 2 flops and 1 good show, right? So the 2 flops were New Amsterdam and 2 Distant Strangers, right? So today I'm going to talk about The Messiah. But before I get to talking about The Messiah, I just want to I just want to share one small thing about the 2 shows, like the fundamental flaw in the 2 shows that I gave a thumbs down to: 2 Distant Strangers and in New Amsterdam. Okay. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so I think the major thing that's there for me, the biggest flaw between those 2 shows. I'm sorry, just lost my mind there. I was just getting onto Facebook to get things going. So now first let's stop the song in the background. Yeah. So the major flaw in my opinion, okay, the major flaw in all this, in those 2 shows, so the Messiah and the major flaw in the Messiah and not the Messiah, in New Amsterdam and 2 Distant Strangers is a naive understanding of evil. Okay, so I'll tell you like what my mom told me, right? My mom told me, just because you don't feel jealous doesn't mean just because you are not jealous of other people's success doesn't mean other people won't be jealous of your success. In other words, as a good person, you may suspect that everyone else has good motives, good intentions, and is well-meaning. This is a big problem. It's not true. Sometimes you do encounter people who are sociopaths, okay? People who have a loose screw in their head and they go the wrong way. That's one. And then there's a second, more insidious form of evil, right? There's a worse form of evil. So this one is the one my mom warned me about, that look, don't think that everyone is a good person. That's what my mom taught me. And New Amsterdam basically makes that assumption. Everyone is a good person. And that's also almost a theme under that 2 Distant Strangers. All Black people are good people. You don't, you like, it's not true. It's not true. Not all Black people are good people. There's some bad ones. You could flip it the other way around and say not all white people are good people. There's some bad ones. Okay. This is just the way life is. And I think that it's a bit sad when people can't see that being good or being bad can't be reduced to people's skin colors. No, it's a bit sad, but that's what that show does. That 2 Distant Strangers show does. Basically, that white guy, that white policeman, doesn't matter what he does, he's just gonna end up killing a Black person. This is a bad way to think. Anyway, that's the simpler level at which the show is wrong. The 2 shows are just basically, that's why they are boring. I mean, at the end of the day, that's why there's no twists and turns, because it's too simplistic a view of life. Then secondly, like the second major flaw here is not understanding what can I say, the the constitution of the worst kinds of people in the world. Okay, so you've got your common thief, your common burglar, the liar, the hustler, these people. when they do bad things, they are not really convinced that they're doing the right thing. Okay, they know they're doing the wrong thing. These are, they are not good people in a sense, because they know the right thing to do and they're doing the wrong one. But the worst kind of evil really comes when a person thinks that they're doing good and that they are the reason why the world will be much, much better in the end. Okay, so this is the author of that show, right? This is the author of the New Amsterdam show. That's the author of that show, Two Distant Strangers. They just don't understand the naive definition of evil. So evil people are people with bad intentions, right? But the truth is, evil people are just people who are unwilling to listen to other people when they tell them that their good intentions are going to land everyone else in a bad place. Okay, so give you an example. So like it's a common story. I just want to help everybody, right? And then when people don't accept your help, you pull out a gun to make them accept your help. That sort of thing, right? It's the whole thing like, oh, we'll just take your children and we'll raise them for you because you're a single mother and you wouldn't know how to take care of your child. So we can do it for you so that they can be better off in the end. You'll be fine in the end. We're doing this for your good. People who are in that frame of mind cannot be rescued. Okay, they cannot be rescued. They will kill everyone because they believe they are right. Right. So that's the most insidious form of evil. So that I'm not saying the doctor in New Amsterdam is evil, but the point is, the idea is if someone were to come to New Amsterdam and say, no, I don't think we should be treating everyone for free. I think all these things cost money, blah, blah, blah. That person now looks like a bad person. If there's enough of them that are kind of impeding the treatment of people who need help, yeah, you're going to end up killing those people because they're blocking other people from getting healed or getting their medical treatment. That's the not understanding how badly things go, not understanding how bad things go. If people don't understand how things work. So this is the story. That's what happened. Like if you watch my the Gulag Archipelago video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Well, I will finish my Zimbabwean series. But anyway, on to other things. That's why I don't like those two shows. That's why they get thumbs down. Now on to The Messiah. This show I thought was fantastic. Not because I thought the guy was a Messiah. Let me explain what the show was about, right? So in the show, The Messiah, what's happening in the show is this guy here on the screen that you see, he appears in Damascus, which apparently allegedly, according to the Islamic religion, that's where they are expecting the Messiah to come back again, like their savior. The savior of Muslims is going to appear in Damascus and is going to lead the Muslims in a holy war where they will take over the world and they will rule the whole world, and God will be very happy that the whole world is now full of Muslims. Right. And on the Christian side, the Christians are also waiting for Jesus to come again. He's going to beat up the devil, put him away, and punish all the bad people, and the world will be good, and there'll only be Christians only afterwards. So it's sort of like the same story, but different guy wins at the end. We have different religion wins at the end. So in this story, the Messiah does appear in Jerusalem, in Damascus. And he just does all these amazing things. And everyone is skeptical that he's the Messiah until he does something that really gets close, that strikes close to home. Like the best example is when he reaches, so the Messiah, when he appears in Damascus, he ends up in Israel and is being interrogated by an Israeli intelligence person or something like that. He's being interrogated to find out who he is, what does he want, etc. And he ends up talking about the personal life of his interrogator, right? And he tells that guy about his mistakes in life. And all these things sort of push that guy back to thinking, could this be the Messiah? And then they put him in they put him in a holding cell. They think they're keeping him there, and he disappears. He appears in the USA, right? And they think, oh, he's appeared there through a plane or something. And he appears during a storm in the USA. He saves a girl's life in the middle of a storm. He saves the church. He just does these amazing things. Except he does go out and shoot a dog. Right? It does go out and shoot a dog that's in pain. And he walks away, right? but it did heal another kid that was shot. Like another kid was shot with a gun, and the Messiah healed him, and he comes back to life. So so in the show, it's a whole series of people coming to this conclusion: this is the Messiah through the different things that he does. But this one lady and that interrogator, they don't believe the story. They don't buy the fact that he is the Messiah until at the end, the final episode, where this guy is in a plane and the plane crashes. And this Messiah figure, who's apparently being arrested in this plane and is being taken to Israel for questioning, when the plane crashes, it ends with him resurrecting everybody who had just died in the plane. So, but he's fine. He doesn't look injured or anything. And his clothes have changed. He's now wearing what do you call it? He's now wearing the old Jesus gear, the whole robe and thing, and is resurrecting people, and it ends like that. That's how the first season ends. And there's a boy that comes there and is telling people who have been resurrected by the Messiah, you were dead, there were flies coming out of your mouth, and the Messiah has brought you back to life. Now, okay, I've told you what so the whole show is about people being surprised that another human being can know that much about them, that another human being can do this sort of miracles. Okay, so one reason why people doubt that he's the Messiah is because he has brothers or something. Yeah, but the one thing that the show got me thinking about was if I did, well, I'm a church mouse already, but let's say I didn't believe in God, and someone just showed up, told me about my babies, and maybe cured me of, I don't have teeth in my mouth in certain spots, right? I have about 4 or 5 missing teeth. So let's say someone showed up, gave me new teeth and all these things, and did a few miracles. Would I then suspect that that's the Messiah? Yeah, probably not. Like I'm just way too skeptical for that, right? But I'm just saying, if a person doesn't believe in anything supernatural or anything like that, this is the perfect movie to watch. Just to go through, what does it take for you to change your mind about what is possible in terms of spirituality, what is possible. And this, to me, it shows a terrible, sickening vulnerability. Wow, listen to me with big words. Yeah, it shows a terrible, and very scary vulnerability that nearly all of us have, because I think I would be so shocked and scared as well. But I wouldn't believe that it's the Messiah. But what all I'm saying is, if somebody showed up and brought peace to the Middle East and did all these things in my life and saved my daughter and all these things, I would be tempted. I would be severely tempted to believe that it's the Messiah. And I just think I have a few more weapons to defend myself against that sort of thought. But to me, what I liked about the show was it just shows how vulnerable human beings are to believing someone. It just takes one or two unexplainable events for people to change their worldviews. Okay, it just takes someone really coming in when you're really down, and showing up and helping you when things are really, really bad. When someone comes at your vulnerable points, like when someone shows up in your life at a time when you're most vulnerable, that's the time when your belief can switch and change, and you can start believing anything. So that's my take. That's is this other guy on YouTube. That's my deep, detailed analysis with a little nice bow on top. Anyway, so that's it. So this show is great fun to watch for me. I found it a lot of fun just observing what it takes for human beings to change their beliefs and put their faith in another human being to be the Messiah. That sort of dynamic, that's what you see in this show, and I love it. So I think that was a great show. I don't think it's the Messiah. I think it was a great show in the sense that it actually shows you how vulnerable we are as human beings to anything that we don't know. If anything comes out at us from an angle we haven't thought about, we are most likely to get lost. Yeah, and that's the voice of my daughter calling me. So that's that, guys. I really enjoyed the show. So definitely, this is a must watch. This is a must watch show. It's got those twists. It's got those turns in it. You don't really know what's happening. Definitely, much better than watching Two Distant Strangers or New Amsterdam. Certainly, 10,000 times better. Okay, so yeah, that's that. Thank you very much, guys. Gracias por todo. Thank you so much. See you next time. Let's just